Everyone, welcome to another Music Talk Tuesday. And today I thought it'd be interesting to discuss plagiarism within music. And this has been a problem that has sort of existed, I would say, probably throughout the ages of music's existence, only because obviously with every great piece of music, there's obviously people who will want to use it and sort of copy it in some way, shape, or form, whether that be through lyrics or whether that be through um, composition. And I thought it'd be interesting to kind of explore this particular topic since it is a big concern, I think, among people within the industry as well as people who are sort of involved with music or at least enjoy it and what it has to offer. Um, and the most recent, I would say, as far as plagiarism is concerned, at least that has happened, is between Marvin Gaye and um, the artist who wrote Blurred Lines. Apparently, Marvin Gaye claims that it was ripping off his song Gotta Give It Up. Um, and that has caused sort of a controversy. Um, but it's sort of been something that has been around throughout uh, music's existence, and it's definitely a problem, and it's just one of those problems that sort of you kind of have to sort of deal with, uh, unfortunately, sometimes. And what's also uh, important to note, and what I think makes this a sort of more grayer area issue, is the fact that sometimes things can somewhat be, I think, coincidental in that, maybe there are certain lines within a song that are somewhat similar to lines within another song, and the artists probably didn't even know that that song existed or something like that. I don't think that that's a far stretch, because there has been so much music that's been produced over the years that it only makes sense that somehow sometimes certain things might connect with one another. Um, and it's a similar thing with composition too. Like sometimes certain songs sound similar to other songs, uh, and they may not even have heard of the other song that that supposedly one person claims is plagiarized, only because sometimes songs end up sounding somewhat similar. And again, that has a lot to do with the fact that, again, we've had various amounts of music produced over the years, and various people have composed various things over the years, that have had certain things sound very similar in certain respects. Um, uh, and I can understand people feeling like that their artwork has been tampered with somehow or is being used unjustly. And I understand why certain people end up suing or doing whatever to get some kind of compensation out of it. Um, but again, it can be abused either way, because one person can claim plagiarism when it maybe even isn't really plagiarism, but he just wants maybe some money, or the other person really did plagiarize and wants to leech off of another musician's success and whatnot. So it's one big mess that has just sort of been a part of music, and again, is one that I don't think will go away anytime soon. As far as allegations are concerned with other artists taking other artists' material. Um, and it's also a question too of who has rights to certain material and all of this crazy laws and things like that that are way even too complicated for, I think, even the normal person to understand. And it's just one of those areas of law and of music that, um, again, is rife for abuse, and also one that sometimes people can unfortunately get away with. And it's definitely not fair in certain respects, and I understand that. But at the same time, um, I think at the end of the day, regardless whether or not you think a song is like this or this, or you've claimed that this song is plagiarism of this song, um, at least from my standpoint is I usually don't read into that. I just kind of listen to the song, and if I like it, I like it. But I think there should be some clear communication as far as, trying to put in new material. Because, I mean, I understand that there's definitely a lot of songs that have come and gone over the years that have been very reminiscent of other songs. And sometimes that's even due to, being inspired by one song and wanting to sort of recreate it and reimagine it and tweak it and do other things with it and make it sort of your own. And so there is obviously always going to be a lot of uh, confusion and a lot of people who are going to take advantage of other people's work. I just think that's just sort of how, unfortunately, things are sometimes. Um, but it's definitely not an easy issue, and um, I think it's one that'll always just exist because there's always going to be accusations of, I think, some form of plagiarism as far as music is concerned. And I think there's always going to be people who say, wait a minute, um, I don't think this really is. They just kind of coincidentally maybe sound a little bit similar. But at the same time, again, I think there should be an effort to try to uh, decrease the number of accusations. But again, it's always, sometimes one side has a certain agenda and then the other side has another agenda or whatnot. And, sometimes those end up colliding, or one is maybe in the right, one maybe is in the wrong. It's really all something that, we have the law for. But on the other hand, it's still one that will probably stay for a good chunk of time and will not go away. And I think a lot of it just gets resolved through money usually. You just pay whoever, accuses you of plagiarism. You just have that be sort of the end of it. Which I think is always kind of odd, it's just like the only way to really resolve anything is just to give somebody money for something. And it's like, yeah, I did plagiarize your song. It's not like I should maybe, just take down the song or something, um, or I don't know. I just think that the that it would be better if we could decrease the number of it, the number of instances to where people are accused of plagiarism. But at the same time, it's sometimes, again, like in a lot of cases with law, it's sometimes it's a he said, she said thing, and then this is my interpretation of the art, and this is how it's somehow plagiarism, and then the other person will say, well, no, it's really not plagiarism because here and here there are things that are different and blah blah blah. And how can you say that it is completely reminiscent of my song and whatnot? It's a big mess. But those are, I think, ultimately my thoughts as far as plagiarism is concerned. I'd be more than happy to hear what anybody else has to say, and if they um, think that um, a lot of plagiarism is sort of legit, um, or if a lot of plagiarism is kind of over exaggerated. Be more than happy to hear what anybody else has to say. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye.